Okay friends, let's make a big watercolor rainbow. When I like to make rainbows, I like to have all the colors in front of me so I know what order I'm gonna go in. And this is just a quick little trick to remember the colors of the rainbow. Roy G. Biv. So start with red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. And if you stick with this order, then all of the colors will blend with the colors that they blend with the best. One more note, when I paint rainbows with all 7 colors, I like to use a big piece of paper just so I don't run out of room. So this is a 9-inch by 12-inch piece of paper that I got from a watercolor pad, and I would recommend having a bigger piece just so you're not, trying to squeeze tiny little lines on the outside. First things first, let's get the colors we're going to use wet on our watercolor palette so that they're all ready by the time we want to use them. So here's red, and then for orange, I'm going to use this lighter orange over here. So I'm just picking up some water with my paintbrush in my water cup that's off to the side. You can't see it. And dropping some drops of water on the colors I want to use so that they're nice and activated by the time I get to them. So I've done red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, which is just like a darker blue, and violet, which is purple. Okay, so I'm going to start with the inside arch. Rainbows are in an arch, which is kind of like an upside down U, and I'm going to start with red. So just kind of in the middle, but toward the bottom of my paper, I'm going to paint an arch in nice watery watercolor. In order to get the colors to blend together using the wet on wet technique, we want each arch that we paint to be pretty watery. So I started with red, just like this, my reference up here, Roy G. Biv. I started with red, and now I'm going to go to orange. Make sure I have some nice watery orange watercolor. And then I'm going to paint another arch, and just in some places, but not in all, I'm going to have this arch touch the first one, so that some of the places in the orange arch are by themselves. It's just orange, and you can see the space between the red and the orange, but other places the red and the orange are blending together. And then you can even add paint afterward to make sure you get some really cool color blends. So then I'm going to wash off my paintbrush and get my yellow watercolor, because yellow is next. And with my yellow watercolor, I'm going to do the same thing. Paint a yellow arch that's touching just barely in some places, but not in others. Trying to master this wet on wet method of barely touching one shape in some places but not others is a really fun way to get better control of your paintbrush and better experience watching colors blend together. But it can be tricky. So if you need to practice, that's exactly what this video is for. It might even be helpful for you to decide before you start painting where you think you want to touch your arch to the one beneath it. So I think I want to try touching my green arch right here in this corner and on the side right here when I start painting. So that means when I start painting over here, I know that I want to keep this side of my arch separate from the yellow until I hit the yellow up here in this top corner. And then I'm just going to move my paintbrush just a little bit and dip it just a little bit inside the yellow. And then I'm going to keep painting around and getting more watery paint, because the watery paint is what makes this the wet on wet technique. And then just as I reach the bottom, I'm going to touch that arch with the yellow one. So beforehand, I decided I wanted the yellow arch to touch the green one in this corner and down here. And so I made sure to make my arch touch the yellow arch in those places just by like tapping or moving my paintbrush just slightly. And if moving your paintbrush just slightly makes your arch a little wobbly, that's okay. Your arch can be wobbly, but if you really prefer your arch to be have a little more shape, like I did, you can just add more paint onto it afterward to make it a little more arch-like. And now, before we move on, I'm just going to take a little bit more of this yellow and tap it along where it's supposed to be blended with the green, so I can do some manual blending here. Just to have a little bit more of that color intruding on the green, because I think it looks cool. Okay. So we've done 4 out of 7 colors. That means we have 3 left. We did red, orange, yellow, and green. And now we need blue, indigo, and violet. So blue is up next. I got this light blue already wet for exactly this occasion. And so I'm going to make sure I have a lot of pigment on my paintbrush by mixing in the water with the paint a fair amount before I start painting. That's what I'm doing over here, is my paintbrush is mixing the paint even more in the water so that the paint that's on my paintbrush is nice and colorful instead of just water. So now I'm going to start my arch, and this time I'm going to touch it right here, maybe in 3 places. Right here, and right here. So I want it to just barely touch right here. So I just barely touch my paintbrush, and then I move it back to where I want it. And you can do your arch in multiple stages. You don't necessarily have to it be one big stroke. You can do it a little bit at a time. Sometimes doing things a little bit at a time is what helps me get them right. So now I touched the blue to the green right here, at the bottom over here, and then at the top, kind of in the middle. And now I'm going to touch it just to the side like that. And I'm just going to add some more blue watery paint and extend the arch just so it's as big as I really want it to be. There, that looks pretty good. So now we have indigo and violet left. So indigo is this dark blue, and I think I'm going to have it touch right here in this corner and in this corner, right there. So I'm going to start down here, down in the bottom, and doing it in a few different strokes. And then right when I get to where I want, I just kind of dive my paintbrush down. I'll show you that again. Just kind of dive my paintbrush down, go down and then back up to where my arch is. And then I'm going to do that one more time. Down and then back up to where my arch is. And then if I want to even that out so it doesn't look quite so wonky, then I can do that. And so the rest of this layer is just spent making sure to get this arch where I want it, smoothing it out with my paintbrush, And then I'm going to do the same thing that we did in some of the other ones, where I just kind of manually blend in this blue right here. Our last arch is violet. So I'm going to make sure I have some watery but also very pigmenty paint by mixing my paintbrush in where I put the water on the paint before. I just want to mix the water in with the paint so that the paint comes up with the water. And starting on this side, it's a good thing I chose this big paper because I'm running out of room. Starting on this side, I think I'm going to do 3 places where the violet's going to touch. It's going to touch right here about, and then maybe like kind of toward the top over here, and then on the side right here. And maybe if my brush decides to do more, we'll see where it goes. Okay, so I touched by diving down and then up with my paintbrush right there. Maybe actually I'm going to do 4. So 1, down and then back up, 2, and then before I move on, I'm just going to smooth out that arch so that it doesn't look quite as wonky where I went down and then back up. 1, 2, and then I'm going to go all the way across, down and then back up. Over here, I'm smoothing it out and getting a little bit closer to the indigo layer. And then I'm going to have it touch in one more place, right here, down and then back up. So now I have my last arch touching in all the places I want, and so I'm just going to smooth it out. And just make sure that all the places that I want to be touching they look good. And grab a little bit of indigo and just kind of push it into the violet layer so that I can see this blend. And then even I might be able to push some of the violet into the indigo over here. So I'm just going to push some of this violet into the indigo so that it blends both ways. And there you have it. Here is a fun watercolor wet on wet rainbow using all 7 colors of the rainbow. Roy G. Biv. And using one of these fun little multicolor, inexpensive watercolor sets that you can pick up at most craft stores.